was in Sudan. I'll give you this. This is a very good example. Talks, you need to hear
Yeah,
this.
I'm listening.
So, in the biggest camp in Dabba, in Al-Affad, it has around 5,000 families. There are 7 primary healthcare tents, 7 by 7 different charities. So everyone in that camp knows what's wrong with them. They have the diagnosis, right? And each one of the charities, they set up their own tent and they say, look, we're treating patients, we're working here, alhamdulillah, jazakumullah khair, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless them. But what's the use if each one of them is just diagnosing these patients, and then when it comes to treating them, there is no solution? They all have paperwork saying, look, I know what's wrong with me, but all these tents are doing is just telling me what's wrong with me. And each one of the charities is claiming that we are doing medical missions, we have, alhamdulillah, may Allah reward them. So what is humanity doing different? Humanity went there on the ground, understood the problem, met with some of these charity leads. Many of them are Sudanese, right? Very big Sudanese charity names. And we're getting them to work together, right? Now we're not going to introduce another PHC tent. We're now going to introduce mobile clinics. We're going to, and by the way, any work that we do, we involve in the central government. We need to make sure that it aligns with the strategy and where things are going in alignment with the central government that is leading and taking care of that case. We don't want to work in silos. We want to bring everyone working together. There's no competition here. The goal at the end is to benefit the people, right? So what we're doing in that camp is not doing another tent. No, it is making sure there are mobile clinics. It is making sure that whoever is now been diagnosed, we have the proper agreements with hospitals in the main cities of Sudan so that these people can go and get treatments. It is making sure that we procure ambulances. It is making right? And it is making sure that these charities talk with each other. It's very important that we talk and we don't compete. At the end, the risk of your charity, the risk that's going to go into my bank account, that what I'm going to eat today, this is all okay. We should find ways where we work together as charities. Humanity, subhanAllah, we're all working overtime, and we have, subhanAllah, less than 7 people running the charity. So, but we rely on our amazing partners, and these partners are doing amazing work across 35 different countries. We make sure that people work together. We make sure that we focus on things that are strategic in addition to the emergency needs. And for example, in Gaza, it's a different story. Gaza, because I was there, I have my own teams working on the ground there, and I just connected them to humanity, and they're now still there on the ground.
So listen,
that's for Gaza.
So let me just add to what Mansoor is saying, right? So with Mansoor, third-party fundraising charities, right? But where humanity differs, and I can testify to this, is they're a bridge. So for example, when humanity came to Syria, number one, they connected us to charities that we already knew, and nation. That was beautiful. That was amazing, because we knew each other, but we never really directly worked together. So that was amazing, number one. Number two is that auditing. If you see humanity, they go out to these countries, they're traveling. Most other small third-party fundraising charities, they work with partners. All they care about is feedback and media that they're going to get. Whereas humanity is on the ground, meeting these people, auditing, making sure that those projects are up to standard and that they're searching for the best partners. They're not just going to search for a partner who is giving them fantastic media. Of course, that's important, but it's not the be-all and the end-all, because there's many charities, as we know, when it comes to media, fantastic. But when it comes to actual product and helping the ummah on the ground, sadly, it's not there.
Okay, there's another question before I talk about the situation in the West Bank and Jerusalem. Is there any organized project to help people still living in tents in Syria? If so, where to donate? Sister Rashida.
Yeah, Sister Rashida. So we are in Syria currently. We have different projects. So we have the villages that we are building, where obviously we're taking out of tents and giving them homes. We also have something called a Tarmeen project, which is a renovation project where you can pay to have someone who's living in a tent right now, for example, their house has been destroyed or partially destroyed in the village. So we will use funds to read and they can go back. Recently, about 4 or 5 months ago, we did a massive campaign where we moved a whole camp called Mukhayyim al-Bil in the north, in Aleppo, and we took all of those people back to Damascus and to Ghouta, 11 coaches, and we supported those people in re-establishing them back in their area. Many people don't even have the money to go back to their village because obviously it costs money to move their stuff, etc. So we do have that. You can check us out and go to syrianeedyou.com to donate to those projects, or onewithsham.com. Anyone that's watching, please donate. You can help us to win 20k, and obviously Humanities Link Muslimi is also in the on the chat.
Ahoya, it's good to see you as well. طيب, let's Sister Sumaya, if there are any questions in the chat, please, if you can copy paste them, put them on the question box. I'm just going to talk a little bit about the West Bank and Jerusalem. So alhamdulillah, I'm originally from Jerusalem, and in 2009 I was imprisoned, and then I got my Jerusalem ID revoked. No one is talking about Jerusalem and the West Bank right now, and very little are talking about that there is no support for Al-Aqsa. The hundreds of thousands that used to go every night of Ramadan to pray Taraweeh, to do i'tikaf, they don't only go there for the ajr of praying. They do it with the niyyah of protecting Al-Aqsa, showing the world that Al-Aqsa people, the people who decided to continue to do ribat in the old city and in the villages around Jerusalem. So it was a big show of power, a show of strength, right? Right now, there is no one praying Al-Aqsa. Right now, we have less and less ability to do charity work within the old city of Jerusalem. In the different refugee camps / yes, there are hundreds of checkpoints. Yes, there are, subhanAllah, within our own kin, there's a lot of pressure to do or not do work, but the people there on the ground, subhanAllah, we're not to get out images and videos, talk about the reality of the situation there, because anyone who does that, everything on social media is monitored, everything on WhatsApp communication is monitored, whether it be by the authority there or by the Zionists themselves. So Humanity Muslimi, we have ongoing projects inside the old city of Jerusalem, in the West Bank, and we've jump-started the work there in Ramadan, and we want to continue that work. You have in front of you is not only for Gaza, it's on our brothers and sisters in Jerusalem, in the West Bank. We want to continue that even after Ramadan. We continue to do the projects that will help them on the ground. So please, if your sadaqah, your zakah goes to the brothers and to projects that aid them there on the ground today, as soon as possible, and continue for after Ramadan, please consider donating to that link. And subhanAllah, we are merely messengers. We try to ensure that your amana place at the right time. And being from Jerusalem and understanding the situation there, many of things that I cannot say, but subhanAllah, they need sometimes help even more than the people of Gaza. The people of Gaza, alhamdulillah, the whole world has, alhamdulillah, stood up with Gaza and continues to try to get aid in, to get donations inside. Alhamdulillah, and subhanAllah, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward the people of Gaza for continuing to stand up for and to expose this evil that's been ruining the world, this satanic ring that has been exposed as a result of what happened in Gaza over the last 2.5 years. Right now, in addition to stand with Jerusalem and Al-Aqsa, alhamdulillah, our dear brother, Dr. Abdullah Ma'roof. Dr. Abdullah Ma'roof is a very close friend. Alhamdulillah, he appeared on the Thinking Muslim podcast a couple of days back. I haven't listened to it, please listen to it. The last podcast on the Thinking Muslim podcast, Brother Jalal interviewed Dr. Abdullah Ma'roof. Dr. Abdullah Ma'roof is from Jerusalem. He worked in Al-Aqsa. He's now professor of Al-Aqsa Studies in university in Islam, and he is in contact with the people working in Al-Aqsa on a daily basis. He knows what is happening right now. And in his own words, he is most fearful of the fate of Aqsa today than at any time before. He understands Hebrew. He goes through the Hebrew media. He understands their analysis. He understands how their political parties work. A lot of things that we don't see on our media, on our English channels, he sees in Hebrew very clearly what they have in mind. And he put it all out that podcast with Brother Jalal on Thinking Muslim, on the thing. Watch it on YouTube today. If we can, if we're able just to copy paste the YouTube link for it, Brother.
Inshallah, we'll do that now.
We can just try to put it for the brothers and sisters. It explains to you the plans of the. It talks about the red cows. It talks about the difference between the ruling parties of Israel now versus those who started Israel, the atheists, the Ben-Gurions, versus the Ben Gurions and the Smotrich. It talks about what they believe in versus what the Christian evangelicals that are Zionist brainwashed believe in as well, and the contradictions there. He talks about what actions should the Muslim Ummah be doing right now. Al-Aqsa Mosque being demolished. Remember, Al-Aqsa Mosque is an amana for all Muslims, for over 2.5 billion Muslims, not just the Palestinians, not just the people of Jerusalem. It is your amana, it is my amana. We all need to make sure we do everything we can to ensure that Al-Aqsa continues to remain up and we feel Muslims moving forward. This is an amana and we are merely messengers.
Really important.
Questions?
Yeah. Viewer asked which projects from the Water Super Village are zakat eligible. So any of the land that we purchase for the homes, so about 50% is going to be used for homes, 50% is going to be for services. So the waqf part is not zakat eligible. The part that's going to be used for home will be given ownership to the people is zakat eligible, inshallah ta'ala. I hope that answers the question. www.onewithsham.com to support, inshallah, our Ramadan challenge and help us win £20,000.
Okay. Sister Sumaya, if you can, thank you, Jazakallah khair. If you can please go back to the chat and repost the questions, inshallah, because I'm seeing a lot of questions. Okay, what do you think are the biggest problems from within the Ummah today?
Wow. I mean, where do we start, right?
I will focus on one you're done.
For me, it's quite clear for me, in all honesty. One of the things I actually want to video for Resistance Media is that we have 3 types of Muslim, I believe, in the Ummah today. That is, let's say, the lowest on the ladder. They are disengaged from the affairs of the Ummah. They are Muslims living their life, but they only live their lives for themselves and their families. That's all their life is about. It's not the message or the ethos of the Prophet ﷺ where he said, Ummati, Ummati, Ummati. So these people are completely disengaged from the Ummah. And that is very, very sad, right? So we call this group the disengaged Muslims. Then the second group we have are engaged Muslims, but they are engaged Muslims with the comfort mindset. So what does that mean? It means that now they're engaged in terms of helping the Ummah, but from at a distance. So that means that we will help the Ummah as long as that doesn't put us in any danger or any harms come to us. So we'll engage in politics in the West because you know what? We can do that and no harms will come to us. We'll share stuff on social media because we won't really face too many harms. Some people have become brave and they are facing actual harms by sharing stuff. But generally, most people are doing things. We'll donate to, we can donate and, we can stay safe. And those people are better because they're engaged in the affairs of the Muslims. We'll work with our local masjid. We'll support people in the local community. But that's about it. And then the final group that we have are the engaged Muslims with mindset. And these people, unfortunately, right now are the rarest in the Ummah.
But they've always been the rarest.
They've always been the rarest, right? But we need to raise that percentage by maybe 1 or 2%. If we do that, 2 billion Muslims, 1 or 2% go from engaged Muslims who are helping the ummah from comfort and then helping it with a sacrifice mindset, then you will see a big difference. You know, this is prophesied by the Prophet when he spoke about a time coming where the enemies of Islam, they will eat, you know, the nations would eat from the ummah as if they are feasting at a dining table. And the companions, they asked, Ya Rasulullah, is it because we will be small in number? And the Prophet said, no, you will be many in number. They said, how can this happen, Ya Rasulullah? He said, because there will be a wahn in your hearts. And they said, what is this dunya? A love for this dunya and a hating of death. And that's what you see today. You see us clinging to the earth. You see many Muslims clinging to the earth. You see them, you know, they're going to leave it. And when you see the people of Gaza, one thing that inspired me and changed my life is that you don't see that. You see these people marching forth, sacrificing everything. They're doing this for the whole ummah, you know, defending Al-Aqsa, defending Al-Asqalan, for the whole ummah, not caring about the consequence, you know. And we should learn a lesson from that. And when we all start sacrificing a little bit more, and look, you have people, Palestine Action, doing stuff in the UK, sacrificing, hunger strikes, all of this stuff that they're doing, right? They're actually putting themselves in harm's way. You know what it is? If everybody sacrificed themselves and took a little bit of risk, nobody would come to harm. But what happens is, because only a few people are willing to take that risk, what happens? They get hurt. And that's what we need to change, inshallah ta'ala. And that's what I think is one of the biggest problems of today. We don't have sacrifice mindsets, we have comfort mindsets. Wallahu alam.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, his plans will happen. That's all. I agree to that, right? And subhanallah, the way I think about it is that, Ya Allah, please use me in these upcoming plans. Please use me in the liberation of Aqsa. Please use me in helping the people of Syria. Ya Rab, don't leave me behind. Ya Rab, when I did hijrah to Gaza, I had an intention. In Syria in 2013 with an intention, and we, alhamdulillah, subhanallah, I saw, alhamdulillah, like brother talks, like seeing the fruits of something you did on a materialistic level. Wallahi, there is nothing like it. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And we know what's going to happen in Palestine, and we are now seeing what